Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna, dear Prabhus and Madhajis. Welcome to our morning Srīmad Bhāgavatam study sessions. So today, I think we are covering text number 11, second canto, second chapter. Is that correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Let's look at these wonderful words. Vibhushitam me khalayam gulayakair mahadhanenu pura kankanadivihi snigdham malakunchitanilakuntalair virochamananahasapelesam. Vibhushitam me khalayanguliyakay mahadhanernu purakankanadivi snigdham nalakunchitanilakuntalay virochamananahasapela shalam. Word to word, Vibhushitam, well decorated, Mekhalaya, with an ornamental wreath about the waist, Anguliyakahi, by the fingerings, Mahadhanaihi, all highly valuable, Nupura, ringing leglets, Kankana Adivihi, also by bangles, Snigdha, slick, Amala, spotless, Akunchita, curling, Neela, bluish, Kuntalaihi, hair, Virochamana, very pleasing, Ananna, face, Hasa, smile, Peshalam, beautiful. Translation by His Loving Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. He is well decorated with an ornamental wreath about his waist and rings studded with valuable jewels on his fingers. His leglets, his bangles, his oiled hair curling with bluish tint, and his beautiful smiling face are all very pleasing. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the most beautiful person amongst all others. And Srila Shukadeva Goswami describes every part of his transcendental beauty, one after another, in order to teach the impersonalist that the personality of Godhead is not an imagination by the devotee for the facility of worship, but is Supreme Person in fact and in figure. The impersonal feature of the Absolute Truth is but his radiation, as the sun rays are but radiations from the sun. Bhutair mahadbhiryayamah puro vibhu nirmayashete yadamum shupurusha bhunte gunan shodashatmaka solang krisishta bhagavan vachamsi me. Shri Krishna Sharanam Sharanagatam Kathamritam Satatapipatam Bhakti Vedanta Margapantanam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam Sarvaloka Rishideva Janna Prasannam. So again, such wonderful descriptions of Krishna's sweet bodily features continues. And as yesterday, Her Grace Sneha Bhakti Mataji very nicely mentioned that after giving the Virata Rupa, the opulence of the Lord, now the sweetness of the Lord is described. And yes, our Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the reservoir of all pleasure and the reservoir of all sweetness. So in the word to word, when we look, it is mentioned here, Vibhushitam. Lord Shri Krishna is well decorated, but his beauty does not depend on the decoration. Actually, he is Vibhushanam Vibhushanam. He is the decoration of the decorations. From him, whatever the decorations are in his body, they appear decorated because they are on Krishna's body. In material way, when we look, that some of us may try as much to decorate ourselves, but nonetheless, we would fail miserably. But Krishna's beauty is so, he is described in this world by Rukmini Devi, that Shrutva Bhuvana Sundara Srinavatam Te. Bhuvana means in all this world. Sundara means, of course, beautiful. There is no one as beautiful as Lord Shri Krishna. He is Nayanabhirama. His lotus face is the feast for the eyes because it provides great satisfaction for the living entities when they have audience of him. So here a lot of features of Krishna's body is mentioned. And let's look at some of these features. So he is well decorated with an ornamental wreath about his waist, and rings studded with valuable jewels on his fingers, his leglets, his bangles, his oiled hair curling with bluish tint, and his beautiful smiling face are all very, very pleasing. And so in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj very nicely mentions about this sweetness of Krishna's body. And he says, Krishnanga Madhura Sindhu, Sumadhura Mukha Indu, Ati Madhur Smita Sukirane. That Krishna's transcendental form is compared to ocean. And that ocean is an ocean of sweetness. Madhura Sindhu. Krishna Anga. Anga means every limb of his body is sweet. And then he goes on to say, but more sweeter than his body is Sumadhura Mukha Indu, is his lotus feet, which appears like Indu. Indu means full moon. Purnendu Sundara Mukhat Aravinda Netrat. It is described that Krishna's lotus face is compared also to a full moon, Purnendu, and it is extremely beautiful, Sundara Mukhat Aravinda Netram. So Krishna's lotus face is very, very beautiful. It is very, very attractive. It attracts everyone, and it is very sweet. And therefore, one of the meanings of the name Madhusudhana is also that Krishna's face is sweet. And when he smiles, then Ati Madhusmita Sukirane, then his smile is even more captivating than his face, because as the moon spreads its benedictory rays, and we see this picture, there's ocean, and the waves are going to and fro. And above the ocean at the night, there's a full moon, and the moon is reflecting all its rays on the waves of the ocean. So similarly, Krishna's whole body is a reservoir, an ocean of sweetness, and then his mukha, his lotus face, is even sweeter, like the full moon, and then the rays that spread everywhere and that even penetrate our hearts are ati madhur, are extremely sweet, like his smile. And when these three combines, the combination are there, the darshan of Krishna's body, his lotus face, which is smiling, then it can captivate everyone. Therefore, Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu very nicely says that there is a boy, and this boy is Smeram bhangitraya parichitam. He is smiling. Smeram. And in this word, in this verse, these words are used. The smiling face of Krishna's lotus face, the smiling of Krishna's lotus face. So he is Bhangitraya Parichitam. He is banned from three limbs, part of the body, from the neck, from the waist, and then from the knees. Smeram Bhangitraya Parichitam Sachi Vistir Drishtim. And he is giving a Broadway side look glance. Krishna doesn't look straight. He looks sideways. Vamshinyastadaraha Kishalayam Ujwalam Chandrakena. And on his hands, this boy is holding a flute, Vamshi, Nyas Adaraha. And he's holding the flute on his lips. And through his lips, he's blowing the nectar into the flute. And Ujwalam Chandrakena. And behind him, there is a full risen moon. Govindakyam Harihi Tanumita. And he is Harihi Tanumita. His body is not like yours or mine, material, which deteriorates. No, his body is described as transcendental. Now, quite often this word transcendental comes. What does it mean? It means it transcends the deteriorating aspect of material feature. The Lord never deteriorates in any sense. Therefore, he has transcended the material plane. Therefore, he is called Transcendental Lord. And his body is transcendental, Divyam. And in this way, he's standing on the banks of Yamuna River in a ghat known as Keshi Ghat, where he killed the Keshi demon. And this boy, Rup Goswami introduces, his name is Govindakyam. His name is Govinda. But then in the last line, he says that Ma prikshat tavayadi sakhe bandhu sangastirangaha. My dear friend, if your relatives, friends are very dear to you, then please, ma prikshad, don't look at this boy. Because if you look at this boy will take away everything from you, because you won't be able to help but be attracted and captivated by the smiling lotus face of this boy, Govinda, who is known as the giver of pleasure to the cow and to the senses. So there are various features about Krishna's bodily limbs. So here Shukadeva Goswami is describing Virochamana. His smiling face is very pleasing. Anana, face, and Hasa, his smile. Peshalam is the most beautiful feature. So when Rupa Goswami mentions about these three features of Krishna's bodily limb, his body is sweet, even sweeter than his bodily limb is his full moon-like face, and even sweeter than his full moon-like face is his captivating smile. Mahaprabhu, when he's conversing this with Sanatana Goswami, he cannot help but carry on and sing more about the sweetness of Krishna's lotus face. And he says, Madhuram, Madhuram Vapurasya Vibhor, Madhuram, Madhuram Vadanam, Madhuram. Madhugandhi mridu smitame tataho madhuram 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 madhuram. He says, "Oh my Lord, the transcendental body of Krishna is very sweet, and his face is even sweeter than his body. the soft smile on his face, which is like the fragrance of honey, is sweeter still. Madhuram, 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 madhuram. So in this way, when we are able to have darshan of Lord Krishna's lotus face, then his hasam. So Bhagavatam says, hasam hare avanata khila lokatevra shokashro sagara vishoshanam atyudaram. That his captivating smile, when we look at it, what does he do? That he takes away all the grief and miseries of the tears of our eyes. So he is known as Vishoshanam, drying up the Tivra Shoka Ashru, the intense tears of our grief. The darshan of Krishna's lotus feet, it dries up. Our life may be full of misery. Last few days, for no reason or other, some devotees express they are feeling very low. But what is the solution? The solution is having the darshan of Lord Shri Krishna's transcendental form. Because as soon as we look at the smiling face of Krishna, then his smile takes away all the misery. We shouldn't be surprised or get too worried that this is our condition, that we become depressed. Yesterday, we met, some devotees who we hadn't met for a long time. And we just bumped into them, and they were expressing, "Oh, it's nice to see you, Prabhu." And then we started talking a bit, "Oh, how are you doing? We haven't seen you for a long time. Please, come sometime to our home in the center." And they felt quite enlivened. And then we moved on. But about a bit later, 15 minutes later, they again came back to say goodbye, and they expressed how nice it was to talk to you. And so this is only our, devotees are like setu. Setu means like a bridge. That the center of our conversation is Krishna. And because Krishna is the center of our conversations, then we are able to introduce or bring Krishna into their lives. And in this way, everyone becomes very grateful when one meets a devotee. What is the greatest misery in the world? This question was asked by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The greatest misery in the world is to be away from the devotees of the Lord. Temple, why do we go to the temple? Of course, the Lord is there in the temple, but the Lord is everywhere as well. But temple is the central point where we can meet the devotees because the interest is common. The common interest is that in the temple, the Supreme Lord Krishna is there. But the devotees increase the sweetness of Krishna even further by describing him and talking about his wonderful activities and his wonderful pastimes. What to speak of Krishna's beauty? I thought I'll be doing the next verse today, but in that verse, Srila Prabhupada talks about the lotus feet of Krishna, and he emphasizes on the purport that unless one is free from the material contaminations, one should not go beyond the first and the second canto, which are like the lotus feet of Krishna. But even the lotus feet of Krishna is so sweet and captivating. Rupa Goswami very nicely says, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande. O Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, I bow down before you. And he continues, Mana Manasa Madhukara Arpaya Nijapada Pankaja Makarande. He says, my mind is like a bumblebee and bumblebee is looking for some nectar. So our minds are like that. We need constant festivity, and our mind needs to be enlivened. Just last week, one Prabhuji asked me, Prabhu, हमेशा प्रसन्न कैसे रहें? How can we be always enlivened? Answer is very simple. Bhagavatam gives, evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogataha. In this way, the mind can be always enlivened, prasanna, happy. How? Bhagavad Bhakti Yogataha, by executing devotional service under the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada says, Bhakti unto Krishna is not a diversion, it is a fact, it is reality, it is an actuality. And in this way, Bhagavat Tattva Vignanam, factually, one is able to know the reality about Krishna. And in this way, Mukta Sangasya Jayate, he is able to get rid of all unnecessary things that are an impediment in their lives. And Krishna's lotus feet, what to speak of Krishna's lotus feet, a speck of dust of Krishna's lotus feet is even sweet and enough to drive away all the miseries. Therefore, Rupa Goswami says, the bumblebee of my mind, which is after nectar and sweetness, O Krishna, I offer it onto the lotus feet, Nij Pad Pankaja Makarande, of your lotus feet, because from your lotus feet I can get all the sweetness of this world. And he goes on to say, Yadyapi samadhishu vidurapi pashyati navatavana karmaricham idamicchami nisham yatavachuta tadapi kripa bhuta vicham. He says that although Brahma is full of samadhi, he cannot catch the glimpse, even a ray of the effulgence from the tips of your toenails. Still, O Achyuta, having heard of the waves of your astonishing mercy, I long to receive your grace. So even Brahma, without being connected to Krishna, goes into depression. So what to speak about us? We know that every day when Brahma wakes up, he goes into depression. Why? Because millions of years have passed and he loses his memory after the secondary devastation on how to create. But one thing good about Brahma is that he never forgets Krishna. He may forget about all other things, what his duty is and so forth, but he never forgets Krishna and he never forgets to pray to Krishna. And very nicely he prays in the third canto, ninth chapter, there Brahma's prayers for creative energy. And in the last verse, Brahmaji very nicely prays. He says, So savadabhra karuno bhagavan vivriddha. The word to word is so beautiful, Prabhus and Matajis. Brahmaji says that so sav adabhra karuno Bhagavan Vivriddha, that Krishna is Karuno, merciful, excessively and exceedingly. Who else is more merciful? And then he says, Premasmitena nayanam buruham rijimham, that please, Premasmitena, please lovingly smile and nayanam buruham rijimva, and open your eyes. These are the prayers to even wake up the Lord. So in the morning when we wake up the Lord, we can sing this nice verse as we open the temple door. So savadabhra karuno bhagavan vivriddha premasmitena nayanam buruham rijibhan. And Brahma says, Utthaya Vishwa Vijayaya Chano Vishadam. So our life is full of Vishadam, despondency. What will happen today? But Krishna, Utthaya, you please wake up now. And Vishva Vijaya, you gain victory over the whole world. And Cha no Vishadam, and you drive away our despondency, drive away our dejection. How? Madhya gira panayapatad Purushaha Purana. Madhya gira panayatat Purushaha Purana. Madhya gira. Madhya means sweet, and gira means words. O Krishna, please give your sweet direction. Guide me today. Tell me what I should be doing, what I should not be doing. Madhya gira panayatat Purushaha Purana. You are the supreme personality, oldest of all, and yet he remains ever fresh and ever young. So, yes, every day Krishna gives direction in our life. Every day we wake up and we become absorbed in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And in this way, we become connected with Krishna. And through the sound vibration of chanting of the holy names and the sound vibration of these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, the factuality of Krishna's form becomes manifest in our hearts. Very nicely, Bhagavatam says that Ye tu tvadeya charanam bhujakosha gandham Jikaranti karna vivarai shrutivata that the air of Vedic sound carries the aroma of the lotus feet of Krishna. And this aroma of lotus feet of Krishna, the smell, we can experience it by the sound vibration of the holy names of Krishna and the sound vibration of these nice instructions that Srila Prabhupada is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So if you want really sweetness in our own life, then the reservoir of all sweetness, Lord Shri Krishna, if we simply meditate and if we simply sing, if we simply become absorbed, then our life will be sublime. There is no room for despondency or dejection. Even within the face of misery, we will feel a great thrill and great pleasure. What is misery for a devotee? Nothing. Why? Because Yadukula Nalina Dinesha, because he is the son of the dynasty of Yadus. And when Krishna, he rises as a sun in our life, then he drives away all the miseries. Like he drives away the poison of the Kaliya's serpent, and he gives joy to the residents of Vrindavan. So very nicely, Jayadev Goswami says, Kaliya Vishadhara Ganjana hai, Janaranjana hai. So the poison which is eating up us from inside, Krishna, by dancing on our tongues, he drives away that poison. And Janaranjana hai, and he enlivens us all. Yadukula Nalina Dinesha, Jaya Jaya Deva Hare, and all glories, all victory to Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Does anyone have any questions or comments? No question? Yes, Mataji.
I was reflecting on how you mentioned that Brahma every time is very he's in depression, but he's still able to remember Krishna. I was wondering if that is because Krishna's mercy that we are able to remember him.
Yes, we can only remember Krishna by Krishna's mercy, and that Krishna's mercy is also dependent on our endeavor. Once Srila Prabhupada was standing on the altar. And one devotee approached Srila Prabhupada and he asked, Srila Prabhupada, will you ever fall down? And Srila Prabhupada said, I will never fall down. And then the next day again, the devotee saw Srila Prabhupada and he asked, Srila Prabhupada, what are you praying for? So Srila Prabhupada said, I'm praying to Krishna that please bless me so that I never fall down, I never forget you. So, but you said yesterday that you will never fall down. And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, because I'm praying to Krishna daily that please, I'll never allow me to go away from you, never allow me to fall down. And that is the reason I will never fall down. So the greatest fear of devotee is forgetfulness of Krishna. And they're always praying to Krishna that, oh Krishna, please let me never forget you. Even though I may be the most rascal person in this world, please never let me forget you. Therefore, the third verse of Mukundmala Stotra, King Kulshekar Alvar very ardently prays, and he asks for this one benediction. He says, Mukunda Murdana Pranipatya Yache. Oh Mukunda. Now, another meaning I was reading of the name Mukunda is the sweetness of the kunda, the lake, the lotus flower, who is Mukunda. His mukha coming from the kunda, like a lotus flower, is sweet. So Kulshekar Alvar prays Mukunda Murdana Pranipatya Yache. That this is what I'm yachna. Yachna means I'm begging you. Bhavantam ekantam yantam artham. I'm only asking for this one thing from you. And what is that one thing? Avismritis tvaccharanarvinde. That may I never forget your lotus feet. Avismriti. Avismriti means may I never forget your lotus feet. Bhave bhave me bhavatu prasada. Life after life, please give me this one benediction, this one prasada, this one mercy, that I may never forget your lotus feet. And this is what the devotees only ask for. That Krishna, please, no matter what my condition is, doesn't matter, but this one condition, may you let me never forget you. This benediction, please bestow upon me. And that is the reason why Brahmaji, he may forget everything, but he will not forget Krishna. And like Prabhupada, he will never forget Krishna because he's ardently always praying for this one thing. So similarly, we should also pray that Krishna, please never let me forget you. Even if I may forget you, please you remember me. And by remembering me, you please make me remember to remember you. Very nice question, Mataji. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu, for this nice explaining. Hare Krishna.
Any other questions or comments? Jai Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Hare Krishna. Let's meet again tomorrow.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you. Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, thank you.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for a lovely class, Prabhu.